Welcome to Indus Dispatch. We have with us Mr. Namgail, Councillor Lower Leh and Leader of Opposition in LAHDC Leh. Welcome, sir. Thank you for taking our time.
Thank you so much.
Ladakh recently completed 3 years as a union territory. What are the key differences, the major changes in the life of people here in past 3 years, sir?
Well, now if you talk in terms of Ladakh getting a UT status and Ladakh being carved out into a fresh union territory region out of J&K, and what effect it had on life of its people. Well, in terms of so what UT has done, UT has, well, one of our old pending demand, all demand has been fulfilled by this present government, and we thank them for that. But it came without any provision for a legislative assembly. It came without any provision of safeguard under 6th schedule of the constitution. So there are no safeguard guaranteed. And we had always demanded that Ladakh be accorded to UT with legislative power so that we can have our own council of ministers, we can have our own chief minister. Ladakh is a huge territory, but yes, lesser number of people than the rest of the other districts in the country. Developmental activities are taking place, but not really you can see in terms of, yes, the flow fund has been quite good in terms of UT, but most of the funds are going back. तो जमीन पे क्या हो रहा है? जमीन पे तो हमें एक्का दुक्का कुछ बिल्डिंग बन रही है और लोगों का जो रहन सहन है, जिस तरह the way of the life of the people is as it is. लोगों का रहन सहन, लोगों का 3 साल में तो क्या बदलेगा? तो जैसे चल रहा है वैसे चल रहा है.
UT was a long pending demand. There have been agitation, there have been protest, there have been a long struggle. Now there is a demand for 6th schedule, not legislature is another demand. Were these things already in mind of Ladakhi people when they were demanding UT status?
Well, as I said earlier very clearly, we demanded UT with legislative powers.
Right.
Okay, we expected that central government would confer legislative powers with the abrogation of Article 370. So it didn't come with that, and so a vacuum has been created, and people are now seriously thinking, what is the future of Ladakh? What is the future of Ladakh? Now you talked about 6th schedule. Now 6th schedule, as you know very well, it's a provision within the Constitution of India, where the tribal community, the indigenous community, they have been given certain protection under this schedule, under the constitution, in terms of land, in terms of the employment opportunities, in terms of election within the tribal area, in terms of governing the tribal area by the tribal people themselves. You said 4 states, so like Tripura, Assam, Mizoram, and all these places, and in fact the enactment of 6th schedule in the constitution has been specifically created for tribal people like us, for tribal people who lives in the mountains, whose numbers are less. They have their own language, they have their own art and culture, own customary laws, own way of life, language and everything. So that has to be protected.
Right.
That has to be protected. So now, without these safeguards, people of Ladakh are feeling insecure.
You said 6th schedule is for the protection of tribals.
Absolutely, yes.
In an area dominated by majority which is not tribal.
Yeah.
When we see Ladakh, almost all of Ladakh is a tribal.
Absolutely.
This is tribal
Correct,
place.
correct, yeah.
Every Ladakhi is a tribal.
Yeah.
So what are you seeking protection from? Who are you seeking protection from?
We are seeking protection from the central government. See, our stand is very, very clear. Our stand is very, very clear. 2019, 31st October, Ladakh was carved out of the state. Okay, we started, and from October 31st, we started functioning as an independent UT.
Yeah.
Now, see, government of India knows very well. The political class of this country knows very well. Ladakh has a separate identity.
Yes.
So this separate identity of Ladakh has to be protected. In fact, immediately when Ladakh was carved out of the Jammu and Kashmir state and when it was given a UT, the National Commission for Scheduled Tribe, NCST, which is an autonomous, very powerful body who looks after the welfare of the tribal communities in India, categorically stated on 11th September, after so many negotiations, after so many consultations with Ministry of Justice, Ministry of Law, Ministry of Home Affairs, after everybody agreed that now we need to give 6th schedule, Ladakh should be brought within the 6th schedule arena. So they recommended on 11th September 2019 that Ladakh should be accorded 6th schedule. It should be brought within 6th schedule provisions.
Right.
Why did they say that? Because 97% of the population of Ladakh are tribal communities.
Right.
So isn't it in the interest of the country that the unique identity of Ladakh should be protected? Isn't it an interest for the country?
So what
For
are
the
the
establishment
threats,
of this
sir?
country?
What are the threats? I want to understand that. 97% of Ladakh is tribal. What is Ladakh scared of?
See, as I said earlier, that people are feeling insecure in terms of what?
In terms of
In terms of land, in
Land.
terms of our culture, in terms of employment opportunities. 6th schedule guarantees that employment opportunities within the tribal area, within the autonomous district council. Now Ladakh has 2 councils. Now within 6th schedule, you have to create 2 autonomous district councils. We already have councils with us.
Yes, you have.
Okay,
They're
so
quite
any
powerful,
any employment opportunities, whether it is gazetted cadre or non-gazetted cadre, the jobs will be given to the tribal communities, the youths of the tribal communities, the unemployed youths of the tribal communities. Land will be within the tribal community. Okay, now what's happening? What's happening is that now it is the social pressure, it is the social unity amongst the Ladakhi people that okay, let's not sell our lands to non-locals.
Okay.
What we are talking today,
Okay.
there is no law as such. There is no legal entity that people cannot sell land, say, to a person from Delhi, as a resident from Uttar Pradesh.
There is no bar.
There's no bar. People can come and settle down. People
Right.
can come and do business. Okay, people can come, and for the gazetted post is open for all the people.
Right.
It is not for the resident holders, certificate holders of the state for Ladakh. So we are scared because we don't want our land to be taken away. We don't want our jobs to be eaten away by unemployed youths of other states. Okay,
Right.
so all this production, environmental production, Ladakh is a ecologically very fragile destination. You cannot do any hanky-panky things in Ladakh. Many a times investors in India are looking at mining in Ladakh, looking at extracting mineral opportunities which are available in the mountains and valleys of Ladakh. People are talking many big things. Investors would like to come. Big players would like to come in terms of hotel industry, in terms of tourism industry. They would like to come and settle down and create resorts and hotels and all these big chains. Now, if they start coming into Ladakh, whether it is into wholesale market, whether it is into hospitality industry or travel trade industry or transportation industry, where our people will go? What we will do? We cannot compete. See, the capacity of the Ladakhi people to compete with businessmen in the rest of the country is very limited. Very limited. I mean, people like, let's say, one of the richest, top 10 richest person of Ladakh. I don't think they have 500 crores in the bank balance. I don't think so. If tomorrow, let's say, any big hotel chain, because Ladakh is a very heavily dependent on tourism industry. You know that very well.
Of course.
Okay, and there's a lot of pressure, and that the chains would like to come to Ladakh. Ladakh is a booming, one of the favorite now summer destinations in India, one of the favorite hill stations in India. With improved
the globe, in fact.
with improved air connectivity and so many other things. So big hotel chains would like to come. Now any big hotel chain can easily invest 700 crore for a 150 room hotel in Ladakh. Who has the capacity to compete with 700 crore worth project in Ladakh? Does any Ladakhi people has a capacity? No. So the best for the country is that Ladakh should be protected. Its interests should be protected, and Ladakh is a sensitive, strategic, important destination for our country. We are surrounded by two enemies of our country, to China and Pakistan. We know all well. It's an open book. Everybody knows that very well. So we are the guardians of this area. We are the guardians of our country. So for that, it's very important. The government of India should listen to the whims and wishes, and they should stand on the whims and wishes, aspirations of the people of Ladakh. And what is the current boiling aspiration of the people of Ladakh? That is that we should be given safeguard under 6th schedule of the constitution, and the land and the stand of the communities of Ladakh, except for the BJP. I'm saying except for the BJP on record. It's very clear. And why they are not saying 6th schedule? Initially they said, Now they are not talking about.
Why did they backtrack then?
I don't know. You should go and ask them. They put this agenda for 6th schedule in all the elections, in the previous elections, whether it was the general elections for the member parliament, whether it was 2020 council elections, 6th schedule for Ladakh. They invited Honorable Travel Minister Arjun Mundaji in 2020 to Ladakh. They gave representation to Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah ji in Delhi, categorically stating number 1 with 13-point agenda that Ladakh should be now brought under 6th schedule of the Constitution. Honorable Member Parliament is signatory to that. What happened to that? What was that? That was a thoughtfully given and thoughtfully pointed out demand that reflected the aspirations of the people of Ladakh. Down the line, as we progressed under UT setup, 1 year passed away, 2 years passed away, they stopped talking about 6th schedule. Now they are saying, oh, we will bring you safeguard. We asked them the question, which safeguard you are talking about? Which safeguard? You have to be very specific and categorical.
They passed a resolution. You also
They
moved
passed a
the
resolution.
in the
No.
same
I
meeting.
moved in resolution.
Yeah.
The opposition team moved in resolution. We said, and I'm thankful to the Honorable CAC, Tashi Galsan ji. He invited a special session to discuss 6th schedule provisions, and also they came out with a baseless, without any meaning, with absolutely meaningless agenda that we will bring you safeguard. And we asked them the question, which safeguard you are talking about? They said, no, we will bring 13th schedule, we will bring 14th schedule. Are Baba, you talk something which is available within the constitution of the country.
Yeah.
You talk something which is available, a provision which is already available, readily available with the government of India, created for people like us, for tribal community like us. And you say, no, that is not good. We'll bring something very special. Which special? What special are you talking about?
So while they didn't name Schedule 6 of the Constitution, the safeguards they passed.
No, absolutely.
resolution on,
They are trying to.
They also centered around land, employment, trade, environment.
Yes, but
Right?
under which provision? You told me under what? Under which provision of the Constitution? You have to be very specific. You talk something which is available in the Constitution of this country.
Right.
You don't talk something which is not available at all, which cannot be seen at all, which is not available. Where is it written? Yes, you talked about land, you talked about environment protection, you talked about job protection, you talked about so many other things. But where does those provisions available in the Constitution? Where does it available? And they are just simply trying to eyewash, trying to create a confusion within the community of Ladakh. No, 6th schedule is not good. Are Baba, entire Ladakh, the student community, they went and had a recce trip in the northeast. They talked to various people, they talked to various legislators, they talked to experts in the country. They had their own survey done. One of the NGOs in Ladakh, they sponsored, a team immediately after the UT formation. Many experts from Ladakh, from civil society, some politicians, they went and met representatives in the northeast. Entire community of Ladakh, one person can become full. One person can, get carried away without understanding the values of 6th schedule. Not entire Ladakh will be befooled.
So you're saying that the entire Ladakh stands on one page in demanding
Absolutely.
inclusion.
There's absolutely no doubt about that.
Except
Everybody-
BJP.
Except the BJP. Everybody gave in writing, whether it is the Panchayat Coordination Committee, whether the Sarpanches, the Nambardars of various villages, the Travel Trade Community, the Transport Association, the Merchant Association, Hotel, Guest House, Travel Agents, everybody, civil society, learned civil society, ex-officers, everybody, entire, the religious communities, religious political organization, except for the BJP. Entire Ladakh is standing on the one side, BJP is standing on the other side. What is this nonsense? They also know. The fact of the matter is, the people in the BJP also knows, yes, 6th schedule is the only important provision. But they have been stopped. They have been
Stopped by whom?
stopped by whom? You should ask them the question.
So what do you make of this, sir?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who has
Why?
stopped them?
Are Baba, you started talking about 6th schedule initially. Why suddenly you went quiet?
Okay. Why
Somebody-
do you think they have been quiet?
I really don't know what are the reasons. We tried to ask them this question many times in the council and at various platforms. That who stopped you by referring or recommending 6th schedule for Ladakh? You yourself went. Honorable Member Parliament Jamyang ji himself went to Amit Shah ji and sir, please we want 6th schedule. Amit Shah ji said, okay, we will talk about that. But later on down the line, They said, yes, no, we cannot talk sixth schedule. Now we will bring safeguard. We asked them, which safeguard? Okay, which safeguard? Which safeguard you're talking about? You know, your own agency, NCST, is seriously recommending sixth schedule for Ladakh, and you said, yes, this is good. No, who? What is stopping you? What is stopping you? It is the pressure from some unconfirmed sources, whether it is the, many people, I don't know what is the hidden agenda behind the present BJP. What is the hidden agenda behind why they are not talking about sixth schedule? What is the agenda behind that? What is the agenda behind that? Just recently, they rejected sixth schedule in the discussion. They didn't pass resolution. That was a very, very big setback, and that really exposed them. Until yesterday, they were saying, no. Off the record, they were saying, yes, we are also with sixth schedule. When they came in front of the cameras, they said, no, we are not supporting sixth schedule, but we are supporting safeguard. And we asked them the question, which safeguard you are talking about? No, we will bring a safeguard. I said, which safeguard? You talk something which is available in the constitution. There are so many tribal communities in India, sir. We are just around 290,000 people. There are tribal communities in India whose numbers are more than 5 lakhs. Will government of India bring out a 13th schedule for Ladakh, a separate 13th schedule for the Ladakh, for the tribal communities of Ladakh? Others will also start shouting. Entire Arunachal Pradesh government, which is being ruled by the BJP party, Pema Khanduji is the chief minister. In 2020, despite being a state, despite having a council of ministers, their own chief minister, and there are so many tribal communities in Arunachal Pradesh, they passed a unanimous resolution that we want sixth schedule for the entire Arunachal government, entire Arunachal Pradesh state.
Okay.
Despite being a BJP rule state, they passed this resolution and they recommended this. They went and talked about this to Home Minister, to the government of India, knows very well. So there's a big demand by the Arunachal Pradesh government. Why these people, our own leaders, are not understanding?
How do you see the future of this agitation? If BJP is not by your side, people of Ladakh want it.
People of Ladakh, as far as I can see, I can sense the sentiments of the people at the grassroots level. Mm-hmm. There's anger brewing amongst the youth. People, educated class of this communities are not happy with that, with their stand. Their double talks, their jumla, conversations. So, and they being not supporting the sixth schedule. So, and people have started doubting them and doubting with their intentions. Why they are not supporting that? When entire Ladakh, if it is as simple as that, if the entire family wants something, if one person of the family does not want that particular thing, so there's that will think there must be some, So people are getting really nervous. They are not happy with the present establishment. They are not happy with the present BJP leaders of Ladakh, whether it is the member parliament, whether it is the council. You talked about so many developmental activities. Developmental activities will keep on taking place. But the important thing on the ground today is that we need to set the future of Ladakh in the right direction. That is very, very important. We need to understand where our grandchildren will grow from here. What is the road ahead? What is the roadmap for Ladakh? Where are we heading? Do we have a roadmap? Do we know where we are heading? Do we know? We don't know. We don't know. Without these safeguards, we absolutely don't know.
You yourself said that both China and Pakistan are breathing down Ladakh's neck. Sixth schedule brings with it a lot of things. So when we have sixth schedule in a region, you basically have Parliament of India not being as capable in that particular region in terms of lawmaking and other things. Okay. Don't you think that would further alienate the region from the entire country?
Why? No, why do you think so?
Because you have
Why do you think so? That will empower, that will give more power and strength to the people of Ladakh. No. You're talking absolutely something which I don't agree with that. How does sixth schedule will alienate Ladakhi people from the mainstream country? How
Right.
does that will alienate? That will in fact give more strength, more power for the Ladakhi people to defend our soil. Okay.
Of course, I
Okay, for
understand.
defend our soil. See, even under Article 370, when we were a part of Jammu and Kashmir state,
Right.
non-residents of other states except for Jammu and Kashmir,
They
could have,
couldn't-
they could not come.
Right.
They could not come.
Right.
Okay, they could not come and do activities in Ladakh.
Right.
Okay. So, Mizoram, for example, Mizoram, almost the entire state is in the 6th schedule. There are 2 tribal communities.
Right.
Okay. And on the other side, there's a border, international border. Does giving 6th schedule to Mizoram, has the Mizos been alienated from the mainstream country, from the country? Has it weakened the sentiments of the Mizo people in terms of nationalistic feeling?
No, not at all.
It will
I'm
not.
not doubting
no,
the
no,
sentiments
no,
of
no,
Ladakhi people.
That's what I'm saying. Ladakhis, I'm very proud to announce today in public through you that when it comes to the question of guarding our borders, we have seen armies, we have seen bloodshed, we have seen wars in front of us. People of Ladakh, from generations to generations, we have seen our borders. We have our ancestors have guarded our borders. You know, the feeling to die for our country, you know, that is as strong as any Indian. In fact, it is much stronger in Ladakhi people than I think the rest of a person, somebody sitting in Delhi or somebody sitting in other places.
Right.
Because we are seeing our borders, we are seeing our Faujis, we are seeing our officers, we are seeing our Jawans fighting day and night, guarding our borders day and night, and our Ladakh Scout Jawans. You know, if you look at the history, whether it is 65 war, 62 war, 70 war, the Kargil war, Ladakhis have sacrificed their blood for the country. In Kargil war, 35 hours brave soldiers, they sacrificed their lives for the country. Now, if you look at the ratio of the numbers of people who have died fighting for our country, the numbers will go very huge. So, by giving 6th schedule, do you think that the sentiments within the Ladakhi community will go less for the country? It will be further strengthened. Then people will start feeling, look, now the government of India has really respected our sentiments. Government of India has really respected our community. Government of India has really respected our aspirations. They have met our aspirations. They have listened to us. Now we have to fight for them. We have to
They'll
now
further boost the
absolutely. They will further boost the sentiments. They will further energize our community. They will further energize our youth. They will embolden our emotions. It will weakening is absolutely out of question. It will embolden our sentiments. It will give us energy to fight more for our country, to guard our borders more powerfully.
What is the future of this agitation? What is the future course of this protest, this demand that Congress and other bodies, the students' bodies, the traders, and the apex body, all the stakeholders are going to take?
Well, now we have, as you know, that now in the 2 districts, Leh and Kargil, now Leh has the apex community, the people moving for 6th schedule. There's an apex committee has been established, and then you have the Kargil Democratic Alliance at the Kargil level. And there was a historic moment on 13th December 2021, I think, if I'm not wrong. Entire Ladakh, in one go, it was shut down. It was shut down. That was a very historic moment because entire Ladakh was shut despite having an UT with us. So people started asking questions at the national level. Why people are shutting down? Why there are resentments on the streets? So I think down the line, it's in the interest of the country. It's in the interest of our establishment, whether it's the political establishment of our country, the defense establishment of country. It is in the interest of the country that the people sitting in the border areas of Ladakh, Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Lahore Spiti, all the border areas, the people should be taken care of. Whether the country is ruled by BJP, whether the country is ruled by Congress, whether it's a coalition government, whosoever is at the center, whosoever is the defense minister, whosoever is the home minister, it is always in the interest of the country that the people sitting and guarding the borders, spending their lives in such difficult areas, looking after the borders, looking after the country, guarding the borders, their sentiments and their issues should be taken care of. They should be looked after. The more you look after these people, the better will be for the country, the better we will be for the future of our country.
Any message, any appeal you want to make to the people of Ladakh and the BJP in Ladakh through our channel?
Through Indus Dispatch, well, for the BJP, I still request through your channel, through your medium, that please you should first be Ladakhi, listen to the sentiments of the people of Ladakh, look into the eyes of your children, look into the eyes of your grandchildren, and think about their future. Sincerely, honestly, as a true Ladakhi. Politics comes later on. Our survival is very, very important, and you have to think for the survival of our future. For that, you have to work. We have political ideologies. There could be political differences on developmental issues. We will fight, we will talk, we will discuss, we will argue. But when it comes to the survival of Ladakh, when it comes to the future of Ladakh, we have to unite as a family. We have to unite as a team. We have to unite as a Ladakh. As a Ladakhi, we have to be united. Yes, for the people of Ladakh, my message is that we struggled for so many years under different leadership, starting from Bakula Rinpoche ji, down the lines of so many leaders. We never let our lamp down. We never let our movement for sixth schedule, our movement for union territory status, we never let down the demand. We always kept our demand as number one demand for Ladakh. Like that, and with the grace of our collective wisdom, with the grace of our collective efforts, and with the central government understanding the ideas, with the abrogation of Article 370, it fits well for the government of India to set the narrative that Ladakh should be accorded a union territory status.
Right.
So whatever the reasons could be, the end of the day, we got union territory status. But without certain provisions which we really seriously needed, as I talked earlier. So my message for the people of Ladakh is, coming days could be tough for us, yes, but being an Indian, we have to guard our soil. Being an Indian, we have to guard our borders. But being a Ladakhi, we have to look for our future, we have to struggle for our future, we have to work for our future, and we have to work unitedly for the future of Ladakh. And the future of Ladakh lies in the schedule of the Constitution.
One last comment I want from you, sir. I met the BJP leadership and they had exactly the same thing to say.
Yeah.
That we are all Ladakhis, whether it is BJP or Congress. We are all Ladakhis. We should keep the politics aside, sit together, talk out our differences, and look forward for a better future for Ladakh. So both the parties here are saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
One, they are also demanding safeguards.
Yeah.
You are also demanding safeguards. The difference is you are demanding under 6th schedule, they are not. Do you really think that while this agitation is on, there is also a need for the leaders to sit together and talk it out? Maybe there is an alternate solution?
No, see, the leaders have already talked for so many times. Leaders have already discussed. It is not that it has not been discussed. The BJP leaders also knows, they were also part of the discussion. Not for one time, but for several times. Those people sitting in the Apex committee, people from various political parties, religious associations and trade communities, everybody had number of discussions, number of talks, number of presentations. In fact, our ex, I don't know whether it was a serving Supreme Court lawyer or whosoever it was. I was not a part of that particular event. But people, experts from Supreme Court of India, the lawyers were invited to Ladakh. There was an open discussion, open argument, deliberations about 6th schedule. And the conclusion was, yes, 6th schedule is the only provision which is absolutely very important for our future. So these people, those who are now denying, in a denial mode today, the BJP leadership, they were a part of the discussion. It is not that they were not invited for the discussion. When Ladakh Tsering Namgail went to Home Ministry and presented the document, that recommendation, when he invited the tribal ministry to Ladakh and they gave the recommendation, when tribal ministry agreed, it was a result of an understanding that now we need 6th schedule, because Ladakh will not be safe without 6th schedule safeguards. Because the most important safeguard within the constitution is the 6th schedule. Because 6th schedule, you will have a creation of a council. We already have the council. The council will be empowered to make their own rules, on regulations, on police, on electoral rolls and everything.
Right.
So that is the most important thing. Therefore, there is a 5th schedule. There are so many other small provisions in terms of Article 371, A, B, C, D. But those are for specific issues, specific safeguards, specific small things, you know. So these people have been a part of the discussion. It is not now they are saying, oh, we need to discuss, we need to invite experts. अरे बाबा कितने बार बुलाओगे यार? पूरा लद्दाख खित्ता जान चुका है, सब कुछ स्टडी हो चुका है कि खुला किताब है, सबसे अच्छा प्रोविजन है छठा शेड्यूल। छठा शेड्यूल सबसे अच्छा होगा हमारे लिए। उससे लद्दाख में एक मजबूती आएगी, उसमें लद्दाख उभरेगा, लद्दाख रहेगा। सी सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है कि लद्दाख रहना चाहिए। हम नहीं चाहते हैं कि लद्दाख की वो जो वातावरण है, लद्दाख का जो इकोसिस्टम है, उसमें कोई खराबी हो, पानी का किल्लत ऑलरेडी शुरू हो चुका है यहाँ पर। पानी वैसे ही नहीं है लद्दाख में, पानी वैसे खत्म हो रहे हैं यहाँ पर। तो लद्दाख में कैपेसिटी नहीं है यहाँ पर। 10 लाख आएगा तो खत्म हो जाएगा लद्दाख। लेह का हालत देखिए आप, लेह टाउन का हालत देखिए। लुक एट द सिचुएशन, लुक एट द वाटर क्राइसिस, लुक एट द पॉल्यूशन इन लेह। लेह खत्म हो रहा है। इट इज गुड फॉर सक्सेस। फिर आप निवेश की बात करते हो, यहां पर बड़े बड़े इंडस्ट्रीज की बात करते हो, माइनिंग की बात करते हो आप। तो लद्दाख को अगर खत्म करना है, लद्दाख को सत्यानाश करना है, लद्दाख को बर्बादी के रास्ते पे ले जाना है, तो ठीक है, आप लोग कीजिए, फिर लड़िए, बोले कि लद्दाख को कुछ भी नहीं देंगे हम। मगर ये अच्छा नहीं होगा देश के लिए, और लद्दाखियों के लिए अच्छा नहीं होगा। कुछ समय के लिए हम जिएंगे, कुछ समय के लिए हमारे जेब में पैसा होगा, हमारे बच्चे रोंगे 50 साल के बाद, 30 साल के बाद हमारा बच्चा मालिक नहीं होगा, नौकर होगा। हमने देखा ना सर, हमारे देयर आर लिविंग एग्जांपल्स ऑफ द हिल स्टेशंस इन आवर नेबर्स। लद्दाख से सिखा रहे हैं। लद्दाख में देखो यार, लद्दाख के लोगों ने कितना बचा के रखा हुआ है, कम्युनिटी को कैसे बचा के रखा हुआ है, ट्रेड को कैसे बचा के रखा हुआ है, डिस्पाइट विदाउट हैविंग एनी लीगल अथॉरिटी, बट उन्होंने बचा के रखा उसको, ट्रेड को बचा के रखा उन्होंने। कलेक्टिव यूनिटी, एक सोशल यूनिटी जो है उससे बचा के रखा है। नहीं तो क्या लीगल क्या हमारे पास, किसी कोर्ट में चैलेंज कीजिए। जब तक लोगों का साथ नहीं होगा, लोग जब तक साथ नहीं देंगे, आपको कोई भी निवेश आएगा, जब तक लोगों का साथ नहीं, आप नहीं कर सकते यहां पर। आप कब तक पुलिस रखोगे, कब तक लोगों को लाठी मारोगे, कब तक जेल में भेजोगे लोगों को? तो वो अच्छा नहीं होगा, देश के लिए अच्छा नहीं होगा। तो ये लोग जानते हैं, जो भाजपा के जो लोग जो आज तक नकारते हैं कि छठा शेड्यूल ठीक नहीं है, इसमें ये है वो है, फलाना ढिमका, ये जो बेफजूल की जो बातें करते हैं, ये लोगों को मालूम है कि छठा शेड्यूल सबसे अच्छा है। उनको बोलने से उनको अनुमति नहीं है कि वो उसके ऊपर खुल के बोलेंगे।
राइट, थैंक यू सो मच सर फॉर योर टाइम।
थैंक यू सो मच, आपने मुझे समय दिया, यू गिव मी एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू शेयर सम व्यूज। आई लुक फॉरवर्ड फॉर फर्दर कन्वर्सेशंस।
राइट,
थैंक यू वेरी मच।